All right, so let's go over the settings for this trading bot. First off, we got the list of coins. This is just a comma-separated list of the coin symbols for the coins that you want to trade. You just type the symbol, then a comma, and then type the symbol of the next coin that you want to do. No space after the comma, just a comma. That's it. That's how you choose which coins you want to trade. The next option is the trade start level. You can choose 1 through 7. This is the how many blue lines that the or the price has to go under for the trade to start. The blue lines are the predicted low prices from the AI for all the different time frames from 1 hour to up to 1 week. I have it defaulted at 3. Start level of 3 means the price is stretched a pretty decent bit, so it will most likely be bouncing back from there. So the start allocation percent, that's just the percentage of your account value that you want to use to start trades with. You want that set fairly low, that way you can afford to do a few levels of DCA for each coin on your list. The lower you set it, the more levels of DCA that you can do. Though there is a minimum of about 50 cents per coin that I have it set to. Each coin on Robinhood has a different minimum, but I just do 50 cents just because they'll all at least work with 50 cents. So if you're using an exchange besides Robinhood or besides KuCoin, a lot of exchanges don't allow you to make as small of purchases apparently. So you'd have to basically start it at trade or have this trade start level at 4 or 5 instead of 3 to compensate for not being able to start with as small of an amount of money as I'm able to start with. So yeah, that's that, but it is what it is. The next setting is the DCA levels. That's the hard-coded drawdown percents. For each level of DCA, that's the percentage of loss that the trade has to hit to trigger a DCA buy. Now, for whatever level of DCA it's currently on, if the AI price for that specific level is higher than the hard-coded drawdown percentage from this list, then it'll use the AI's price for that DCA level. But that's only for the first few levels of DCA. Anything past the 4th or whatever is all hard-coded. Now, how many that are controlled by the AI depends on what you set your trade start level at. Because there's a max of 7 that can come from the AI, and so if you're not starting the trade until the 3rd one, well, that means there's 4 left over. So yeah, the DCA multiplier, that's the next setting on the list. That controls how much you buy of the crypto when you do when it does a DCA buy. The multiplier, basically it takes whatever you currently have in the trade and then multiplies it by the multiplier, and then what you get from that answer is how much you buy for the DCA. The next setting is the max DCA buys per coin per rolling 24-hour window. I have that defaulted to 2. That just means it can only do a max of 2 DCA buys for every 24 hours for each coin. That way, if you have a coin that does a huge drop, it doesn't do a bunch of DCAs into it all of a sudden. It'll do a couple of them, and then it'll wait for a day, wait for the price to settle some, and then if it should DCA again at that point after it's been 24 hours, then it'll fire off another one. If not, then it'll just wait. Next on the list is the trailing profit margin start percent with no DCA. That means it's if your trade has not had any DCA, then it's only got a very little amount of money in it, like 50 cents or whatever, $1, $1.50, whatever. And so that means you need to, on Robinhood, it's not like a percentage or anything for the fees, you know. It's like it's like a flat 2 cent fee that I've noticed, plus they do the spread, but it's really just that 2 cents that you got to account for on Robinhood. Now on other exchanges where it's percentage based, then you got to account for that, but on Robinhood it's not like that. So yeah, you basically just however much you put into the trade, however on Robinhood, if your profit will be over 2 cents, then you're good on the profit margin percent. You just got to do the math to figure it out for both of these, for the no DCA and the with DCA one. So I have mine set to 3 and 1.5 currently. I'm doing like $1.50 minimum when I start trades. So yeah. The next and last option is the trailing gap percent. That's for the trailing profit margin. That's just the gap that the price has to go above the profit margin for the price to start pulling the profit margin up for the trailing to start. So yeah. So then that's the settings for the trading bot. It's fairly simple, fairly straightforward. You know, if you have any trading experience, then it's all going to be stuff that you're going to understand and whatnot. So if you don't understand anything on this, then I recommend going and doing some more research. But yeah, bye.